Now, this episode is going to be much more of a downer than usual. It's not a rant, and it's more of a theory, but it's still a downer, so I understand if you want to skip this episode and wait for my next episode. But at any rate, let's start the intro. A lot of us grew up on magical girl anime, and it influenced a lot of the things that we did and said and thought about. In fact, it even opened up doors for us going into shonen anime and mecha anime and other types. But it also opened up another door. It allowed us to sit down and look at how we ought to look. What do I mean by that? Well, you know how some girls who aren't in the anime circle, or even if they are, they're not that deep into the anime circle, and they'll look up to, like, the Kardashians and Angelina Jolie and all these celebrities and say, that is how I ought to look. Or society itself tells us this is how we ought to look. Well, at the same time, anime tries to do the exact same thing. It may not be intentional, but a lot of the times, anime sends a message on how we should look, especially when you sit down and you look at a lot of magical girl anime. Starting out, magical girl anime has a boring, dull-looking girl. She's supposed to be the everyday Japanese girl. If, once again, it's set in Japan. If it's set in Italy, once again, it's probably the normal Italian girl. For a set in France, the normal French girl. For a set in... Okay, if it's set in another country, it's probably supposed to look like that type of girl. However, when they get to Locket, Hairbrush, Marshmallow Doom, they're supposed to transform into ideal versions of themselves. But what does it mean when the ideal version of themselves look almost exactly the same as the normal dull version looks of themselves? That is the issue I'm coming to you guys with today. A lot of the time, different mediums of media influence us, and anime is no different. I may not have sisters, but I remember growing up when I was watching magical girl anime, I always told myself, I want to look exactly like Zoe from Mimi Power. I want to have the cute little side pigtail things. I want to have the adorable dresses. I want to have the cute school uniform. I want to look like this girl, especially when she transforms and have the cute pink hair and everything. But once again, we have the issue of idealized version looks exactly like plain old version. And I understand what you're thinking. You're a horrible example. Look at you. You're overweight by 30 pounds. You also have dark skin. You have pimples on your face. Look at your hair. It's kind of ratty, isn't it? Well, you don't have to be so mean about it, but I guess. But there's nothing wrong with my skin. My skin's a very pretty tone. Thank you very much. Anyway, in all seriousness, not all girls are built like the normal magical girl, the dull, normal version of the magical girl. Even girls in Japan, they don't all look like that. Some of them are overweight. Some of them have a lot of pimples. Some of them need braces. When was the last time you saw an anime girl with braces and overweight and glasses and she wasn't sat down and used as comedic relief? If you can name me one down in the video below, I will dedicate a video to you or something. But seriously, I've never seen it in my life, and that is what concerns me. Japan isn't representing actual parts of Japan. Now, I understand anime is a medium used to escape from real life. It's escapism. It's supposed to have, for example, if this is shonen anime, especially for older men, it's going to have girls with huge chests, and they're not wearing clothes, and they want to immediately jump the bones of the male protagonist. And if it's a female type anime, immediately the guys are all handsome and muscular or very bishonen-like. And sometimes there's even yaoi involved. I understand this, escapism. But then there comes a point where escapism isn't really the main point of certain anime. There are anime out there that are supposed to look like normal Japanese life. Slice of life are usually supposed to be that way, and yet I never see characters who are overweight and things like that. Well, that's not true. There's an anime coming out this spring where the guy is overweight and everything, and he's in love with this really thin girl who isn't scared of him and blah, 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 blah. But that's not the point. I'm talking about girls. I've never seen a female in anime who is not perfect and also not played for laughs. And I think that is an honest issue. How females are always told by multiple audiences, you're supposed to look this way, you're supposed to act this way. We're always told that. Our mothers tell us that we're supposed to act a certain way and be a certain way, and then society tells us the same exact thing. And then sit down and see anime telling us this, and a lot of us see anime as a way of rebellion, not simply as a way of sitting down and enjoying a medium. And I'm not like that at all. I like anime because I just like anime. But still, isn't that a bit of hypocrisy? Anime tells us we can do anything we want. Anime often tells us that we can be anything we want. And yet our females are once again looking exactly how they would look in a magazine article for, I don't know, Playboy or something. And that is a serious concern of mine, because not everyone has the highest self-esteem. Oftentimes, cyberbullying is thrown in. You don't look like this, so you're immediately this. Oftentimes, just normal school, you don't look like this, so you're immediately like this. Now, I understand why girls aren't looking a certain way. One, because it wouldn't be marketable. Just like any other medium, girls in an anime have to be marketable. And the guys too. If a girl was big, overweight, and everything, she wouldn't be nearly as marketable, and she wouldn't look nearly as cute. Well, I think she'd look cute, but that's just me. As the statues and in the anime and stuff like that. The second reason, simply put, because a lot of the times, the characters you see are almost copy and paste of other characters. For example, if you look at Hatsune Miku, she's practically a printout of Black Rock Shooter. Don't believe me? Go look it up. So when you sit down and put these two together, still, is it okay? Would it be marketable to have an overweight girl trying to sit there and become popular? They could have done that with Watamote, but they didn't. And I understand her height complex and the fact that she's kind of ugly looking in general was okay. That was enough. But having another version of that anime, just an overweight girl trying to sit there, get through life, and become popular. It can be done, and trust me, people would buy it. Why? Because then it would be relatable. Girls love things that are relatable, or at least where they can throw themselves into the mix. Why do you think Twilight was popular? Bella was relatable in a way. She was clumsy. She was supposed to be the every girl, I suppose. And that's why girls ate it up. Well, that and the Bishonen vampire and werewolves, but still. I love it when I can connect to characters and certain things. That's why when I see certain anime, it's like, oh, look, I can relate to the character in this way. We get excited and we eat it up and we buy it. That is why Tomoko is such a relatable character. For us that are short, I'm only 5'3". I look very tall on my video screen, but I'm only 5'3". And for those of us who are shut-ins, those of us who obsess over anime, those of us who are shy as all heck and cannot talk to people, we all related to this anime and we all ate it up. And if we can relate on a thin girl that is terrified of speaking to people, is sort of a pervert, and has bags under her eyes, and is kind of ugly when you compare her to other anime girls, then I think we can all deal with an overweight girl who's trying to get her crush to notice her. Or maybe we can't, and you don't want to try new things. That's fine. But like I said, we're in a day and age where it's very easy to get picked on. It's very, very easy for us, our self-esteem, to just go out the window. 1 minute we can wake up and be happy. The next, we're all at an all-time low. And I think that other mediums should sit down and make their stories somewhat realistic, especially when it's sitting down and trying to pretend that it's in a realistic setting. After all, you can't sit there and you can't write a book without there being at least one gay character, because then people say you're not representing the whole entire world. Well, anime, you're not representing the whole entire world when you have all these thin people and then you only have that one overweight person played for laughs. Alright guys, well I'm sorry so much for this rant more than a theory, I'm sorry, guys, for being such a downer. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There was nothing funny about this video. But if you liked the video, if you had any of the same concerns that I do, if you have younger siblings who may have the same concerns and you don't want them mixed up in that, then please let me know in the comment section below. And also, tell me what you want to see next. Do you want to see me review an anime? Do you want me to see me make a theory about an anime? Magical Girl, of course, this is Magical Girl Month. Then let me know. And please click the like button, so that way, well, I know this wasn't so much of a downer, and if it was, don't be afraid to click the thumbs down button, because, trust me, I didn't like this video either. Going into that kind of topic and not being funny at all really made my spirits down. And so you know that I kept my promise to make another video. Please click the subscribe button, that way everything gets up in your mailbox. See you next time, guys!
シナリオの正解決められたものにやらないのは嫌だ嫌じゃないやそれすらはまだ数ない